Okay, guys, I'm back. You're back. We are ready for some body paragraphs. So if you're at this point in the class and you're watching this video, then that means you've already got your hook, you've got a thesis statement, and you're ready to write your body paragraphs. So your body paragraphs. I want you to consider the topics you're going to use in your essay. Do you know enough about your topics or examples to be able to explain them? If not, don't use them. If you're trying to use, let's just say Abraham Lincoln for an example, that's great. Abraham Lincoln would be a great example to use. But if you can't explain that example, don't use it because that's the important part here. You have to be able to explain your example. So, your body paragraph should be structured like this. Now, take a look at the mouse, how I'm pointing to it. You should have your topic sentence, you should have a fact, and at least one example. Now, for the purpose of this essay, I want you to try to have 2 examples, and then you would have a concluding sentence. So let's look at what I have written here. Follow along with me. Your topic sentence, or my topic sentence, is doing what's right instead of what's popular can change someone's day for the better. Fact. Many people are tempted to steal money from a wallet if they find one on the ground. Now that's a fact. I think if a lot of people found, $100 in a wallet, they might return the wallet, but they might steal the $100. So that's a fact there. Now my example. However, when I was 10 years old, I found a wallet in the HEB parking lot. There was $125 in cash in the wallet. I could have taken the cash and just returned the wallet, but I wanted to do what was right. Not only did I do the right thing, but the owner was very happy when he got his wallet back. His day went from bad to great instantly. Another example. There have been many businesses that have done the same thing. Perhaps they have overcharged a customer for something. Instead of just keeping the extra cash, they return the money to the customer. The result is one happy customer whose day was possibly changed from bad to great. If doing what's right can change someone's day and bring a smile to his or her face, then it's worth doing. So that's my first body paragraph. I wrote it entirely that way, but I took it a sentence at a time. And that's what I need you guys to do. Instead of looking at it as this huge task to write a body paragraph, take it one sentence at a time. So the first thing I want you to do is write your topic sentence. Go back to your thesis statement. And if we go back to mine was right here. Doing what is correct instead of what is popular can result in changing someone's day for the better, saving a life, or can even lead to changing the world, bringing us one step closer to a beautiful place to live in. So the first thing I want to do is address how it can result in changing someone's day. So that's what this body paragraph is about. Doing what's right instead of what's popular can change someone's day for the better. And then I went ahead and I explained that. I stated a fact, and then I gave an example. I also gave another example just to support that. And then I have a concluding sentence for that paragraph. So, pause the video for a moment. I'm not going to stop the video. I want you to pause the video for a moment and take a look at this slide. And then I want you to toggle back to your assignment and try to write your first body paragraph. So go ahead and pause the video now, and then go back and forth between this slide and your paper to write your first body paragraph. Go ahead and pause now. Okay, so if you paused, you're back into body paragraphs. Now you're going to need 2 body paragraphs. So your second body paragraph, I put right here. Here's where you want to be sure you use a specific topic. I'll use Martin Luther King Jr. here because I want to use him as an example in this paragraph. So he was mentioned, like he was the one that had a quote, and that's okay if you use him, but you don't have to necessarily use the quote. And I don't use his quote in my paper at all, but I want to use him as an example. So I'm going to do the same thing I did in my first body paragraph. I'm going to have a topic, a fact, 2 examples, and then a conclusion. So take a look at what I wrote here. My topic sentence. Doing what is correct instead of what's popular has also been demonstrated in American history. Fact. In the 1960s, Martin Luther King Jr. was an activist fighting for civil rights for African Americans. Okay, that's a fact. Now here's an example. While many people were against his actions, Martin Luther King Jr. held protests to bring awareness to the injustices that were being done to the African Americans. All right, here's a next example. A specific example, Martin Luther King Jr. of Martin Luther King Jr. doing something that wasn't popular but was right when he gave a speech in a public place and got arrested for it. He was sent to jail because he wasn't doing what was popular at the time, which was for African Americans to give up certain rights. However, without Martin Luther King Jr.'s perseverance to do what was right, America wouldn't be the same it is today. And I just want to let you guys know, I changed this paragraph up a little bit. You're going to see that in my final draft of my essay. So I want you to go ahead and write body paragraph number 2. So pause this video. It's going to take you some time, and try to pull somebody from history that you can use to be an example for your paper. If you want to use Martin Luther King Jr., I'm totally fine with that. You might want to include a different example or just word it a different way. Your paragraph shouldn't sound just like mine. And just a heads up for y'all, I think some other people in history that would be a good example of doing what is correct instead of doing what's popular. Some other people in American history might be Abraham Lincoln. Remember, a lot of people were against what he was doing in trying to give the states rights and also trying to end slavery. Winston Churchill also did some things that weren't necessarily popular, but they were right. Maybe some presidents that we have now. I think Donald Trump is a great example of that. He's not necessarily doing what's popular all the time, but sometimes he's doing what's right. You can use him as an example. You could use President Obama if you wanted to. You could use President Bush. A lot of people criticized him for his actions in putting military in Afghanistan and stuff like that after 9/11. So you can think about those different political people and you could use them. And I'm sure there's more also. Think about pop culture. Who could you add? Who has done something that is right or correct, but it's not necessarily popular? So take a moment, think about that, and work on your body paragraph number 2. When you're done with both body paragraphs, raise your hand, show your teacher that you have both body paragraphs, and then you can move on to the conclusion. All right. We will talk in just a moment about conclusion. So stop your video now, go ahead and work on your body paragraphs, and then we'll talk conclusions in just a moment. Remember, raise your hand when you're done with your body paragraphs.